Hey guys, welcome. Steve back. I'm using beta 3.6. I really like this version, pretty cool. I'm going to jump out of that and show you the Lightmagic Studio upgrades. I went back to an earlier iteration and then finished the work on it and then combined it with some of the new stuff that I had and then cleaned up the add-ons. It's extremely versatile and it's going to be pretty cool. So now you open up, you've got these presets. Okay, so you can throw in an empty controlled background, well, infinite background. It's very basic, no big deal. Delete the camera and everything else, because when you put this one in, this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so when you go into cycles and make sure I'm on GPU, you can grab the empty here and you kind of scale that if you wish. You scale on the Y, kind of change your lighting in quite a few different ways. Underneath here, you'll have another empty where you could scale the lights and change them, but you don't really need to go to the intensities unless you want to shift them a little bit, because you can always bring down the world exposure. And I do have one side a little bit darker than the other, and so if you want to scale those out, you can do so, and it makes a lot of sense. You can also rotate these on the Z-axis at 180 degrees if you want to change the lighting side. So you don't really have to change much. It's just trying to make it extremely easy and seamless. And you can just delete all that. Now I left the preset lights in here. You can go through and select whatever you want. It's going to show up closed because I don't think that's a very used feature. You've got these store object data properties, which of course, if you were to throw in, a cube and a light, something like that, and if you don't want to throw that one in, you could come in here, take 2 seconds and throw in a green light, whatever you want to do. Cool. And you grab that, enter in the data properties here by hitting the plus sign, and then you can rotate this maybe a little bit like that. And down here, it's going to show you the color and all that. You can change that to blue and enter that property in. You can come over here and switch between these two. One's green, one's blue. You'll see the rotation is included. Very cool. You can do that with objects. If I want to throw the cube in, I can rotate him, throw another one in, and as I go back, I got positions. Rename that right here inside the add-on, 1 and 2, and then so on as you go. Now I've got some other cool things I've added in here. Pretty happy about this setup. I'll delete all that, and I want to throw in the preset basic plane because that's the one that this kind of is going to work for. Pretty neat. You can do it with anything you want. So if you want to throw in like a UV sphere setup, and you basically throw in whatever you want. So I'll take a position here and just want to like shift D this, do something like that. There we go. And then like right here, this requires a camera. Okay, so you have to have a camera in the scene to do this. So you can shift A, throw in a camera. I'll probably put a camera button in eventually, but you guys can do that. Right about here looks pretty good. So this is the add shadow light. So I'm going to jump over into cycles. You don't have to see anything yet. But what you'll do is you'll select a distance, okay? This has like a little built-in math computation. It's going to, according to the distance you set here, something like 9 or 10 is going to place in, let's see, it's going to place in, like if your camera is here, it's going to place at a distance of say 0 to like 10. It'd be about right here, and then anything past that would be plus that intensity, or for the distance I mean. And then each individual light that comes in the scene is going to be according to the number of mesh objects. Each mesh is going to get one, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least, because it's probably going to throw one in for the plane too. And so you're going to have those kind of placed in an interesting pattern. It's going to be somewhat random, and it's also going to be based on the light intensity you set. So if you bring this to say 50, and you bring the max intensity to say 300 with a distance of about 9, that's probably going to add a pretty neat shadow effect. And let's go ahead and do some of that. All right, so taking up the camera view, what I'll do is I'll bring up the LM. Let's go ahead and add in the shadow lights, and what it's going to do, just like I said, it's going to add them in kind of at a random. The radius is all going to be kind of pulled out to 1 meter, so it's not going to be like super intense in those spots. And then as you can see right here, it's going to create some very interesting lighting, and you will probably get the exact same results every single time unless you were to actually move the mesh. Now, here's something I'm really happy about that I added. Right here under lighting controls, you could just snag all of the lights, and then you can randomize those in this manner very easily. And then you can add all of those to a folder. Now, what I can also do is to separate this is I can grab all the mesh objects, add those to a folder, grab all the empties, add them to a folder, grab all the cameras, add them to a folder, boom, boom, boom. I literally just organized my entire outliner in about 6 or 7 seconds, which has been, I think, one of the most tedious things to do. So now I can grab all of these again. Maybe I want to bring them back behind a little bit, and I can create I just think the most interesting and very randomized shadows. Now, as I come through here, I can grab these lights and kind of figure out where they're at pretty easily. Then I can maybe change some of the actual lights themselves as far as color properties. And of course, you've got your data store here, so you can refresh this and get rid of everything. And if you like this setup, actually, you can grab one of these lights and then change it. Maybe grab this one. Let's add that to the scene here, and maybe it just looks good right there, right? Whatever. And you can change all these and adjust them as you see fit. So there you go. There's a few different upgrades. The shadow intensity here for the shadow lights, I really like how that came out. Very nice. And if you find that your background isn't big enough, definitely just, throw in there and do what you got to do with it. And somehow I've got something different going on here. My box select has disappeared. When you come in, also note that the refresh, you won't see this sometimes. That way my add-on does not cause like a resource hog or crash trying to load stuff. Anytime you come in here and you've done something or you just opened it, you'll have to hit the refresh to pop all these up. And it's pretty low on the resources anyways. Now I'm also going to add a very cool extra set of backgrounds pretty soon, but I think these two will get you by for now and should be very efficient. Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget, you can organize your scene in just a matter of seconds, whatever you want to do. Go pick up the add-on. I've got this on the Blender Market. It's very compact, very easy to use, and easy to learn, very quick. Make sure to smash that subscribe and smash that like button on the way out. And I appreciate you guys watching. And I will see y'all in the next tutorial lesson.